3, 2, 1.
All right, on the 67 again today. So let me show you what I worked on. I'm obviously, if you can tell by the garage, I'm 100 projects in. I can't stay organized to save my life. So, yay. 67. I'm going to do the seat today for no reason. I just kind of wanted to do it. I was up in the attic a bunch and I kept seeing that seat material and I was like, man, I love how that looks. Let's just go ahead and go for it. I actually got these seat cushions out of another truck a long time ago. Any truck I've ever had like the most blown out driver's side. Obviously everyone sits on the driver's side cushion. So when I saw this one, I saved it. I even have some foam material that I had bought a long time ago. I was going to make my own seat cover. It's the same material that you'll see back up behind here, and I was going to lay it on there as just a little bit more padding and glue it to the foam, but I don't think I am. My main worry is that it's gonna come off later and bunch up underneath the cover, and I think it would look stupid. So it's not like the foam is that bad anywhere. There's not like, usually you'll find these and there'll be like mice tunnels in there, and that's usually the worst. And you can patch that up or buy a new foam, but this is nice. I had fixed this seat frame a long time ago, stripped it all down, painted it. It's clean enough. I got some hog ring pliers and hog rings the other day. It's windy outside, so this might be horrible, but another little side project. I went and picked up a little rubber mat for the 67. Price was good. Got through in this bumper, which I don't usually do 69 through 72s. I usually like 67, 68s. So whatever, I'll just sell that, but I'll try not to talk outside because it's super windy. I'm just leaving that in the sun. Obviously, I'm not doing any final trimming yet, but you kind of need that to get me more pliable. Also, it came with this loose cut floor piece. So, you know, I guess they leave a lot of space on the sides. That way all your rust can breathe, you know, and just got a loose cutouts. Whatever. Like I said, this truck's not gonna be like amazing. I do wish it had more. I wish it had the rest to go all the way back. I'm gonna see if I can find that at the store or something. And I also don't have any matting for up on the firewall, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I kind of thought this went all the way up, but it doesn't even look close. Hopefully that sits in there. Hopefully it looks okay. I've never dealt with it, so hopefully I can run a heat gun and kind of like massage it in the corners. And I'm pretty sure it's for a low hump. You know, he had a C10, so I don't know if it can step up enough. You know, I'm doing a K20, so K10, K20. So it's taller. Hopefully I can stretch it and make up the difference. He said he did have to cut a bunch off the end, so maybe it's a universal loose fit kit. My idea on these trucks is if you're doing four-wheel drive and you have a really nice carpet in it, you're never going to use it in dirty situations. So I wanted rubber. That way, if you get back in your truck, because it's a truck with muddy feet, you're not going to feel bad about smashing all that mud and gravel into your carpet. So another little step on the truck. Well, a little dark in here, but you can tell. I've heard these fit horrible, and well, that was confirmed. You know, it's in there, I guess. So if this is for a two-wheel drive, which that's what he had, and I think that's what they sent him, man, it fits horrible. It actually fits better with the high hump in a way, but there is so much slop and extra slack right in the middle that I'm gonna have to do something, because I don't think there's any way I can take that much rubber out. You know, it looks fairly decent until you get to about there. So I don't know what I could do there, if I'm gonna have to maybe just cut out this whole hump area. Let me throw the high hump tunnel back in and show you what it looks like. All right, well, even darker on this side. That's with the high hump in there. Like I said, tons. There's so much slack in the middle, which is nuts. And you can't like pull it this way, like you probably think you can pull it this way. Well, all this will just fold up this way. So I think what's gonna have to happen is there's gonna have to be like some cuts. I just lay that over. It just had to lay over the front of it, which is kind of stupid, but maybe I can hide it kind of back behind the gas pedal a little bit. And then that side isn't really hidden, but you do have your heater box hanging down a little bit. So, you know, whatever, $75. Hopefully it looks okay in there with the brown, because it's going to be a brown seat and then a brown dash pad. Threw the other leaf spring on today. If you're following along, I had to weld one of these little tabs back on. The little leaf spring pads, the little plastic pads, did not fit well. So I had to grind on those a little bit and get those in place, but they're in now. Sway bar is in. Well, I started to film it, but I needed to lift the back of the frame up really high. That way I could get the leaf springs in. I had rebuilt all these a while back, but I finally got these front bushings, the 1 3/4 bushings. So obviously used a ton of that grease on there. And then ran the bolts in. Everything's still loose. If you didn't know, you don't tighten anything down until you get all the weight on it. Everything's settled in place, and then you tighten those bushings down. I started a bunch of projects, but didn't really finish anything. It was kind of chaotic week. Going into next week, also chaos. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully Monday I'll come back, finish up this seat back here, and then finish up trimming up that rubber floor mat. I'm also about to maybe go pick up an engine that's in a truck that has some 8-lug 14-bolt rear end and front axle, and I'm on the fence if I should just like switch those axles over. It's a full floating rear end instead of a semi-floating. This has a semi-floating on it. I don't know the axle ratio, but I would maybe just throw that in the truck because it already has brakes on in the back and it's a running vehicle. And then use those axles, you know, clean them up, paint them and stuff, but at least the brakes would be already there instead of having to buy a disc brake kit for this and then sell it. In a way, I wish I would have left the brakes on before I came from California, but I was planning on keeping the truck. That's why I pulled the brakes off, because I want disc brakes on my truck, but if I'm selling it, drum brakes are totally okay. So thanks for watching. I promise next week, maybe we'll actually finish a project.